everyone, Garrett from Modern Artifacts here with something a little different today. Another comic that I picked up. It's a Legend of Zelda Link to the Past comic adaptation. It's a pretty interesting piece because it's kind of a different take on a manga. This was based loosely on the Super Nintendo game that was released in 1991 in Japan and 1992 in the US of the same name, obviously. It's a classic that, everybody loves. A game that I, played when I was younger. It's pretty sweet. But in 1992, Nintendo Power, they commissioned Shotaro Ishinomori, who's best known for Cyborg 009, Hotel and Kamen Rider, and a few other things. Very famous illustrator and writer for manga. They hired him to write a 12-part and illustrate a 12-part series in the magazine. It was published from January 1992 to December 1992. The interesting thing about it is kind of a reverse manga. He was a Japanese artist, but he wrote this and illustrated it in English. So the English version has, it has obviously all English writing, but the sound effect words were also in English, which in the Japanese version, they had it written in Japanese, but all of the sound effect words and everything were in English, which is kind of interesting because it's usually reversed when it comes to manga. So this was originally, that 12-part series in Nintendo Power Magazine. I didn't have any of those, but I did pick this up. This was the 1993 version that they compiled it all together in one graphic novel. It was also re-released in 2015. It's a nicer, newer version, but I like this one. It's pretty special, and it's in really good shape. I like the artwork on this one with the dragons that were guarding Ganon's castle on it. It's pretty interesting. The graphic novel as a whole, it kind of omits some of the main parts of the game, and it kind of adds some of the others to not spoil the game because it came out around the same time, but it also kind of did some different things to carry the story a little bit, and so it's a little bit different. Some things to note were that, let's see here, flip through. There were some characters that were in this that were not in the game, like Rome, who's this guy, he was not in the game, but he's a descendant of the Knights of Hyrule, so they added him in for, kind of plot pushing. There was also a similar fairy to Navy, but this was Ephemelda. I think that's how you say her name. So she was added in as a character that he runs into along the way. So some of the really cool artwork that's in this, obviously it's amazing. The artwork is so colorful and bright. I'll flip to a few of my favorites. A lot of them in the 12 sections that is broke up into, most of them have a illustration for the breaks in the chapters. I love this one where he's fighting the Land Mola. It's pretty cool. The nice bright colors, battle. The next one that I really liked, sorry, I have all these tabs in it so I don't miss the pages, but another one was when he first fights the wizard, Aghanim. So he fights him. I love the lightning blast, and the action is pretty cool. Another one, let's see, just kind of goes along with the cover art. It's just an alternate angle of that cover art, showing Link fighting the 3 dragons that were, guarding Ganon's castle. Another one, I think I missed one. Yeah, the final chapter's cover is pretty awesome, where he actually fights Ganon. He's on the, the cover of that section. Pretty neat. Love the action. And then one of my other favorites was the very end, where you see the Master Sword, and it's all, covered over by grass for the next person to succeed and use it, which is pretty cool. They also have a part in the back that talks a little bit about Shotaro Ishimori. I have a terrible time saying his name, but talks a little bit about him and some of the things that he was involved in. Very famous, very cool piece that he wrote specifically for the English audience. One other thing that was kind of interesting was here you see there was like a grenade used, which this is the only time in Zelda lore that a grenade was used versus a bomb, because they're always considered bombs in the Zelda universe. So which is pretty interesting, kind of a cool thing. So this book, just an amazing piece, has some really cool artwork, old school manga artwork in it. Just a very neat story, neat book. Loved the game, obviously. This one, it's in pretty good shape. You can see there's a little bit of wear on the binding. It was, used, obviously. It was read and loved pretty well. A little bit of scratching on the back, but tempted, I might try to have it graded, might have it, cased up or whatever, but it's just a pretty cool book. So yeah, just let me know what you guys thought about it. If you guys had anything interesting to say about it, just, put it in the comments, give me a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.